The night was fragrant when Kevin took me to him. I had nothing to lose, so when Kevin, my cute, younger than usual male friends that pursued me back then, said, after picking up my photoshoot negatives, which I paid $50 instead of the usual $150, he charged the other woman, not so young or as adventurous as I, I'm going to pick up my computer from this man. Want to come with me? Sure, I said, in my Marilyn Monroe girlish voice, trying to impress this American photographer with his round glasses and light-colored jeans on an exaggerated thin frame. Well, he's a peculiar man. Many find him interesting. Well, some avoid him. He only wears black. Oh, I exclaimed. I felt it then. That night was special. I don't know if I knew I was going to meet the man I once saw in my dream when I was a little girl. But I felt light, as if this event, which followed, was out of my will, as if I was flowing through that dark night, following my new photographer friend who reluctantly agreed to accept me back in his studio to see the headshots he took of me the previous week after I refused to pose sexier for him. That was, after all, the only reason he originally invited me to follow him to his studio. "Want to take some glamorous pictures?" "Yeah," I said, after the photo shoot he did of me for a scam modeling agency who charged me $800 for that photo shoot. Sexy pictures were going to be free, but underneath it all, I craved to be like Marilyn Monroe or Sophia Loren, doing photo shoots and looking pretty. No sexy photo shoot happened that night. Instead, he took my headshots, a roll of film which he refused to release unless I paid him the $150. He kept and lost that roll of film. But this fragrant night was different, though. I've had my hair dyed platinum blonde and shot this glamorous shoot. I was 21, he was 36, and I felt I was the best thing Hollywood will ever see, bar none. We drove through the dark downtown Los Angeles. You might not know this, but back in 2000, Los Angeles was a desolate, forgotten town. He drove over old bridges with pictures of water birds on them. "Hey, why do they have birds and fish sign on this bridge?" I said. "We're crossing the LA River," he said. "You didn't know that?" "No," I said. How could I know all these things? I was never in my life as free, away from parents and brother, 2,000 miles away at the edge of Hollywood in the gray dark city of Los Angeles, alone on the empty desolate streets. This is where the poor people live, I would think. And Kevin, with his computer driving towards a strange man dressed in black I was about to meet. I felt it then, as I feel it now. Somehow, I knew that man. We parked by a small house in Eagle Rock. To Kevin, the neighborhood seemed so amazing, away from his cold downtown loft by the railroad tracks. To me, they seemed like poor people, somewhere where probably crime was dense. But I felt safe there with this new adventure and my new best friend. Somehow, I hoped they would never let me go. We entered through the front door. Kevin just knocked and walked in, holding his bulky PC computer. A fat, short boxer dog greeted us gently. There were fish and a piano, furniture that seemed more like home in Romania, and at the end of it, a light in a back room. As we entered, I saw women sitting at their desks, surrounded by a mess on their tables, computers and yellow light. Then, him. It was him. I knew him from somewhere. Alone, as if at peace, he was alone in the corner of the room, completely at ease, with a woman at the entrance. The room so small, him so poor and thin and dressed in an old t-shirt like Eminescu, the Romanian poet. But his hair was so dark, glasses so square. Somehow he seemed scary, but so kind at the same time. He wore an old beat-up t-shirt, so American. He turned his head and smiled. "Hi, Phil. This is Anna. Anna, this is Phil." "Hello, Anna." He smiled and he said, then he looked away. "It's him. Is it you? Is it really him? Is it really the man that I saw in my dream when I was, 3 years old?" Well, this is a new story that I'm beginning to write. Well, because I don't want to forget it, and because I love to write. And this is a photo shoot that I took with my best friend photographer Kevin Brake. It was nighttime again when we took this photo shoot, and it was downtown, and I've had the most amazing time of my life coming to Los Angeles and having an adventure in my life. The story that I wrote is the story of how I met this man. His name is Phil, and I met him through my best friend photographer Kevin Brake, who took these pictures that you're looking at. By this time, 2011, I would have known Kevin for 11 years now. And the teacher, whose name is Phil, would have been dead since 2006. So about 5 years. And ever since then, that's what this one has been doing with her life. Taking pictures, having children with my best friend, and doing the teaching, or attempting to do the teaching, or working, struggling to do the teaching ideas which Phil left, this one, have become the main thing in my life, but it's not really important. People don't really want to hear about that, but that's what I write about. That's the notes I keep taking on my YouTube channel. Every photo shoot that I do, I look for the teaching ideas in the pictures. Every film that I watch, I see the teaching ideas in it. And it has just taken over my life. It has become an obsession to me. So I'm probably going to do this until the day I die. And perhaps it's turning the other way, where I struggle now to... Or it's not even a struggle. I don't really care about being famous anymore like I used to. But anyway, this is a photo shoot I did with Kevin in 2011, January 15, in a cold night.